The tension in the room is so thick you could cut it with a literal bread knife. The guys, Joseph's brothers, are standing there sweating bullets because they think they're about to be thrown into a dungeon for life, or worse, over a silver cup. They have no idea that the scary Egyptian official in front of them is the same kid they threw into a pit years ago. Here is the behind the scenes of the most famous family reunion in history. Joseph finally hits his breaking point. He's been playing it cool, testing them, but he can't hold it in anymore. He pulls a total clear the room move and tells all his Egyptian guards and servants to get out. Then he just loses it. He starts sobbing so loudly that the people outside, even in Pharaoh's palace, could hear him. Imagine the brothers' faces. They're thinking, why is the prime minister of Egypt having a meltdown? Then comes the bombshell. I am Joseph. Is my father still alive? Dead. Silence. The Bible says they were terrified in his presence. In modern terms, they were shook. They were probably looking for the nearest exit, thinking, oh, we are definitely dead now. Joseph sees them backing away and says, look, come closer. It's me, the brother you sold. Talk about an awkward icebreaker. But then he says something that honestly changes the whole vibe. Side note, this is where Joseph shows he's been doing some serious soul searching. Instead of saying, I'm going to make your lives miserable, he tells them, don't be angry with yourselves. He explains the big picture. God sent him ahead to Egypt to save everyone from the famine. He realizes that while the brothers meant it for evil, God was playing 4D chess the whole time to keep the family and the future of Israel alive. Joseph is basically like, okay, we don't have time for a long therapy session right now. There are still 5 years of famine left. Go back home, grab dad, grab your kids, grab your goats, and move down here. He tells them they're going to live in Goshen, which was basically the Upper East Side of Egypt, the best land for their livestock. Then he gives Benjamin a massive hug and cries, and then he hugs all his other brothers. They finally start talking. Can you imagine that conversation? So, how's the sheep business? Remember that time we threw you in a hole? Yeah, sorry about that. Word gets back to Pharaoh that Joseph's brothers are in town. Now, usually a king might be annoyed by a bunch of random shepherds showing up, but Pharaoh loves Joseph so much he's basically like, the more the merrier. Bring the whole squad. He tells them not to even worry about their stuff back home because the best of Egypt is theirs. It's like a royal, all expenses paid relocation package. Joseph loads them up with wagons, food, and new clothes. He gives Benjamin 5 changes of clothes and 300 pieces of silver. Classic Joseph, still favoring the youngest. But here's my favorite part. As they're leaving, Joseph gives them one final piece of advice. Don't argue on the way. Commentary. Joseph knew his brothers. He knew they'd start blaming each other on the ride home. It was your idea to sell him. No, you're the one who wanted to kill him. Joseph is basically telling them to leave the past in the past. The brothers get back to Canaan and tell their dad, Jacob, Joseph is still alive. He's the ruler of Egypt. Jacob's reaction? His heart basically stops. He doesn't believe a word of it. He's been mourning this kid for 20 years. But then he looks out the window and sees the Egyptian wagons, the 2026 equivalent of a fleet of private jets, parked in his driveway. That's when it clicks. Jacob says, I've heard enough. My son is alive. I'm going to see him before I die. Genesis 45 is the ultimate plot twist chapter. It's a story about how God can take a messy, broken family situation and turn it into a rescue mission. It reminds us that even when things look like a total disaster, there's usually a bigger story being written behind the scenes. If you were Jacob, what would have been the first thing you said to Joseph after 20 years?